By my count, there were 5 victims in Frankenstein. They included 3 dudes, 1 little girl, and 1 Frankenstein's monster who, was also a dude, so no extra pie wedge for him. It's fine. With a runtime of 70 minutes, we had a kill on average every 14 minutes. 105 people died in The Invisible Man, which is a big number, but still doesn't put it in the top 5 highest kill counts. The victims were 5 dudes and 100 unidentified people on a train, so hope you like your pie charts extra crunchy. A lot of gears in there. With a runtime of 72 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 41.14 seconds. 4 people died in The Wolfman, with the victims consisting of 1 woman, 1 man, and 2 wolfmen. If you count the wolfmen as male, which I will, this count and gender breakdown was seen 6 times before on this show. Compared to his Universal pals, the Wolfman had the lowest body count. See, he really is a good boy. With a runtime of 70 minutes, we had a kill on average every 17.5 minutes. Only 4 people died in A Bucket of Blood, with 3 of them dudes and 1 of them a lady. That comes out to a real simple pie chart there, and with a runtime of only 65 minutes, we had a kill on average every 16.25 minutes. Only 3 people died in The Birds, as far as we could tell on screen. 2 of the victims were men, and 1 was a woman, giving a 2-to-1 ratio there. And with a runtime of 119 minutes, we had a kill on average every 39.67 minutes. 8 people die in Night of the Living Dead, basically every named character. The victims included 4 females and 4 males, an even 50-50 split between genders. At a runtime of 96 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 12 minutes flat. 13 people died in A Bay of Blood, just like the title number of the series that would imitate it. The victims consisted of 6 women and 7 men, all of them pairs of lovers except for Simon, who died stag. With a breezy Bay runtime of 84 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 6.46 minutes. By my count, there were 25 kills in Blacula. 12 men, 4 women, 5 undead men, and 4 undead women. Damn, that thing is toothier than a lamprey pie. Blacula secured 10 of the kills for himself, not counting himself. His thralls had another 4, while Count Dracula had 2. Gordon and Peters were responsible for 8. With a runtime of 93 minutes, Blacula had a kill on average every 3.72 minutes. 3 people died in The Exorcist, with 2 of them completely off screen. The victims included 2 men and 1 woman, giving us this pie chart, and a count/gender breakdown we've seen in 6 other movies on this show, 5 of them good ones. You're the outlier, Dreamchild. With a runtime of 122 minutes, The Exorcist had a kill on average every 40.67 minutes. 7 people died in Black Christmas, which I believe is around the average amount for a slasher. Of the victims, the first 5 were women, and only the last 2 were men, giving us the first movie since Scream 4 with more female than male victims. At a runtime of 98 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 14 minutes flat. There were 6 deaths in Jaws, as long as you let me flout my own rules and include Bruce among them. That means the victims were 1 part female, 4 parts male, and 1 part shark, giving us a tiny taste of fish pie. With a runtime of 124 minutes, we had a kill on average every 20.67 minutes. 73 people died in Carrie, according to the beloved and popular sequel. My count included 6 known dudes, 5 known ladies, and 62 assorted victims at the dance, giving us a prom pie that's mostly a sickly gray. Gross. With a runtime of 98 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 1.19 minutes. 9 people died in Suspiria, at least as far as we could tell from what we saw, and of those deaths, 7 were women while only 2 were men, giving us an uncommon pie chart that's more than 3/4 lady victims. With a runtime of 99 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 11 minutes. Only 5 people died in Halloween, but that's fine for a first outing. It leaves room for growth. The victims consisted of 2 guys and 3 gals, giving the ladies the edge in this pumpkin pie chart. With a runtime of 91 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 18.2 minutes. 5 people and an android died in Alien, tying Child's Play for our lowest kill count to date. Of the victims, 4 were human men, 1 was a human woman, and Ash was a douchey android. That's, this ratio, whatever. At a runtime of 117 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 19.5 minutes. I believe our slowest rate yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pamela Voorhees killed 9 people in Friday the 13th, 5 guys and 4 girls. She herself was killed by Alice, bringing the total kill count to 10, evenly split among genders, plus 1 poor innocent snake. At a runtime of 95 minutes, that comes out to 1 human death about every 10 minutes. Jason kills 9 people in Friday the 13th Part 2, 5 guys and 4 girls. Same as his mama did, but since he doesn't die in the end of this one, the film's total kill count is only 9, the lowest of the series. And with its 87-minute runtime, that leaves 1 human death every 9.6 minutes. Jason kills 12 people in Friday the 13th Part 3, 7 guys and 5 girls. That's 2 more people than in Part 1, meaning this movie has the highest kill count of the series so far. At a runtime of 95 minutes, that's a kill less than every 8 minutes, which is also a bit more frequent than Parts 1 and 2. There were 4 deaths in Cujo, 3 humans and 1 big ol' Saint Bernard. All the victims were male, but, one of them was a dog, so, I don't know, I have this pie chart. With a runtime of 93 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 23.25 minutes. Jason kills 13 people in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, 7 girls and 6 guys. He's in turn killed by Tommy, giving us a grand total of 14 deaths in this movie, evenly split among genders. At a runtime of 91 minutes, that's a death on average every 6.5 minutes, the current kill frequency champion. There were 22 deaths in Friday the 13th: A New Beginning, although not all were from the Jason imitator Roy Burns. 2 were from Jason himself in a dream sequence, 1 was from Scary Vic, and Dream Pam was killed by Dreamy Tommy. Gender breakdown is 15 guys, 7 girls, much more imbalanced than the previous 4 films, and with a runtime of 90 minutes, that's a kill every 4 minutes on average. Damn. Jason kills 18 people in Friday the 13th Part 6, twice the number of his initial outing in Part 2, so guys come a long way. His Vics include 12 guys and 6 girls, a gender imbalance of 2 to 1, which kinda goes along with the whole 80s action style of the film. At 85 minutes long, that comes out to a kill every 4.72 minutes, so that should keep you entertained as you search in vain for TNA. 6 people died in Dream Warriors, and the victims consisted of 3 males and 3 females, an even split between men and women fatalities. With a runtime of 96 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 16 minutes flat. 16 people die in The New Blood, Tina's dad and Jason's 15 victims, and the gender distribution was split equally with 8 guys and 8 girls. At 85 minutes long, that comes out to a kill about every 5 minutes. 20 people die in Jason Takes Manhattan, 18 of them from Jason and 2 of them from accidents, although Wayne would definitely go to prison for that shit. 15 of the victims are male, with only 5 of them female, the biggest gender imbalance of victims in one of these films yet. At an unreasonable runtime of 100 minutes, we come out to a death on average every 5 minutes, which is on the quicker side for the series. Counting Chucky, 8 people die in Child's Play 2, which is 2 more than in the original. Of those 8, 5 of the victims were male and 3 were female, a more even gender distribution than we had last time. At a runtime of 83 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 10.38 minutes, a bit quicker than in Child's Play 1. Just like in the previous film, 8 people died in Child's Play 3. Unlike either of its predecessors though, all the victims in this movie were male, giving us one of those rare instances of a Vic list consisting entirely of one gender. At a runtime of 89 minutes, that leaves us with a kill on average about every 11 minutes. 29 people died in Alien 3, as well as a Rottweiler, not a Doberman. The human victims include the only 2 female characters, Newt and Ripley, with the other 27 male, giving us a very imbalanced gender distribution. At a runtime of 115 minutes, that comes out to a kill, on average, less than every 4 minutes, a much quicker pace for this series than before. This one's kind of difficult to quantify, what with the possessions and the different versions, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that 24 kills happened, including Jason himself twice. 7 of the victims were girls and 17 of them guys, a pretty damn imbalanced gender ratio. The unrated version runs 90 minutes long, so that's a kill on average every 3.75 minutes, making this the entry with the most frequent kills in the series so far. Aside from Rex, who the Freddy entity murdered so mercilessly, there were 5 victims in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. 3 were dudes, 1 was a lady, and the last was an evil entity that took the form of Freddy Krueger, but I guess that's a male incarnation, so here, have this pie chart. With a runtime of 112 minutes, by far the longest movie of the series, that comes out to a non-Rex kill on average every 22.4 minutes. 8 people died in Leprechaun 3, so the kills in this series continue to slowly increase. Of the victims, only 1 was a woman, the other 7 being men, but one of those was a leprechaun, so let's get a tri-colored pie chart up in this bitch. Nice. With a runtime of 90 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 11.25 minutes. 7 people died in Scream, kinda low for a slasher, but this was more about the whodunit anyway. Of the victims, 5 were guys and only 2 were girls, a more than 2-to-1 gender imbalance. With a runtime of 111 minutes, we only had a kill on average every 15.8 minutes, but at least you got to hear a bunch of horror references during all that downtime. 10 people died in Scream 2, 3 more than in the original, so I guess that rule about higher body counts held true. 6 of the victims were male and 4 of them female, giving us a bit more balanced gender distribution than in Scream 1. With a runtime of 2 hours flat, we got a kill on average every 12 minutes, which is also a bit more frequent than in the original. More than doubling the body count of the original movie, Bride of Chucky features 14 kills. Of the victims, 10 were male while only 4 were female, a more than 2-to-1 gender imbalance. With a runtime of 88 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 6.29 minutes, the most frequent in the series so far. 16 people died in Candyman 3, the most of the entire gosh darn series. The victims consisted of 7 women and 9 men, one of them being Candyman, like always, and with a runtime of 93 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 5.81 minutes. Just like in Scream 2, 10 people died in this movie, but all the kills seemed way less graphic than in the original 2. 6 of the victims were male and 4 were female, the same gender split as in Scream 2, and with a runtime of 116 minutes, there was a kill on average every 11.6 minutes, the most frequent in the series so far. This one's another messy entry with all the VR kills and that entire fucking city exploding, but by my count, there were 25 kills in the movie. Only 7 of them were women, with 18 of them guys, meaning this movie's second only to Manhattan for the most imbalanced pick list. At 91 minutes long, we get a kill on average every 3.64 minutes, edging out Goes to Hell for the title of most frequent kills in the series. There were 10.5 kills in Halloween Resurrection, the half coming from the paramedics since we already counted half of him at the end of H2O. The victims included 6.5 men coming to CBS this fall and 4 women, giving us an almost even pie chart. With a runtime of 90 minutes, that gives us a kill on average every 8.57 minutes. I counted 22 deaths in this movie. Jason secured 19 of them and Freddy only had 2, with Laura nabbing the ultimate kill of Freddy himself. In a series low, only 4 of the victims were women, meaning 18 were male, giving us the new most imbalanced gender breakdown of the series, edging out Manhattan's 75-25 split. With a runtime of 97 minutes, we got a kill on average every 4.4 minutes, although that figure is definitely inflated by the Raver Massacre. 14 people die in Seed of Chucky, tying Bride for the most victims in a Chucky movie. Of the 14, 9 were male while 5 were female, a slightly more even gender distribution than Bride. At a runtime of 86 minutes, that's a kill on average every 6.14 minutes, just edging out Bride for the most frequent in the series. 9 people died in Saw 2, as long as you count those 2 cops, which I do. The victims consisted of 7 men and 2 women, so in the sequel, Jigsaw's judgment finally extended fatally to the ladies. With a runtime of 94 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 10.4 minutes. 18 people died in the Black Christmas remake, which is 11 more than in the original. Not bad. The victims included 7 men and 11 women, giving us more female than male victims again, just like the original. At a runtime of 92 minutes, that comes out to a kill, on average, about every 5 minutes. 34 people die in The Mist, by far the highest count we've had so far in a kill count. Of the victims, 21 were male, 9 were female, and 4 were little cocoon corpses that you just can't really tell. Either way, a lot of dude deaths as per usual. With a runtime of 126 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 3.71 minutes, which is like, wow, you crazy, Mist. In a brand new kill count low, only 2 people died in The Strangers, and they were both male, so yeah, obviously we're looking at one really blue pie chart right there. With a runtime of 88 minutes, that's a kill on average every 44 minutes. Is that a new record too? In this movie, 14 people died, meaning 13 Jason victims and 1 Pamela Voorhees. The writers intentionally put 13 victims in there because, you know, symbolism or whatever. 9 of the victims were male, meaning 5 were female, giving us an almost 2-to-1 imbalance. Remember back when men and women died equally in these movies? The extended killer cut that I watched was the longest film in the series, coming in at a whopping 105 minutes, meaning we only got a kill on average every 7.5 minutes, which is a bit of brake pumping after the last 3 films went crazy. 20 people died in President's Day, which means we got a kill for every president up to and including Garfield. The victims included 10 men and 10 women, giving us a 50-50 gender split, something not seen in a US election since 1976. With a runtime of 82 minutes, that gives us a kill on average about every 4 minutes. 15 people died in Scream 4, significantly more than any of the original trilogy, even though 3 of the kills were fictional characters. In a kill count first, more women were killed than men, with 10 of the victims female and only 5 of them male. A pretty stark gender imbalance, though again, 3 of those were in-movie characters. With a runtime of 110 minutes, Scream 4 had a kill on average every 7.3 minutes, by far the most frequent of the series. 17 people died in Silent Night, the most of the entire series. There were 11 male victims and 6 female victims, including one 14-year-old girl, which you just don't see that often. Usually a character's at least 16 before they become slasher fodder. With a runtime of 94 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 5.53 minutes. 10 people die in Curse of Chucky, less than the Tilly movies, but still more than the original trilogy. Of the victims, 6 were guys and 4 were gals, and for once, Chucky's not included on that list. With a runtime of 96 minutes, the longest in the series, that comes out to a kill on average every 9.6 minutes. There were 8 kills in Leprechaun Origins. The victims were 5 guys, 2 gals, and 1 creature pretending to be a leprechaun. With a runtime of 90 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 11.25 minutes. 12 people were captured in Krampus, more captures than we've ever counted before. Of those captured, 4 were male and 8 were female, an unheard of 2-to-1 ratio in favor of the ladies. With a runtime of 97 minutes, that winds up being a capture on average about every 8 minutes. In a new kill count record, unlikely to be beaten anytime soon, 84 people were killed in the Belko experiment. Damn! From my research, that took way too long. It looks like there were 35 women and 49 men, but that could be off, I don't know for sure. With a runtime of 89 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average nearly every single minute. Good God. It gets a little tricky, what with the sunken place and all, but I'm gonna say 7 people died in Get Out. My apologies to whoever was chilling inside Grandma and Grandpa Armitage. Of those 7 victims, 4 were male and 3 were female, a nearly even split between genders. At a runtime of 104 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average almost every 15 minutes, even though in actuality, there weren't any kills until the last 20 minutes of the film. 10 people died in Unfriended Dark Web. The victims included 6 women, 3 men, and 1 hacker of an indeterminate gender. You know, the one who Frank Underwooded Betty Gabriel. That literally could have been anyone. With a runtime of 92 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 9.2 minutes. If we include Stephanie, then 20 people died in Happy Death Day to You. The victims included 7 men, 1 unknown babyface that could have been Gregory or Stephanie, and 12 women, again giving us the rare pie chart with more women than men, but also again, mostly because 8 of those lady deaths were Tree. With a runtime of 100 minutes, we had a kill on average every 5 minutes flat. There were 18 deaths in The Babysitter Killer Queen, with 10 of them male and 8 of them female. Though it's worth noting that 4 of those kills were second deaths for people. It happens. With a runtime of 101 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 5.61 minutes. Ugh, fucking ground mouths. 15 people died in this wrong turn, tying it with part 3 for the most kills of the franchise. The victims consisted of 13 men and only 2 women, a gender imbalance we are very used to seeing by now, and with a runtime of 110 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 7 1/3 minutes. We counted 38 victims in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. With a 16-15-7 split, we wound up with mostly even guys and gals, with a big wedge of unknown flashback victims. This body count blows the rest of the franchise out of the water. The first 5 movies were pretty chill with kills, and though Leatherface had 21, this was nearly double that. I really like these franchise stats. With a breezy runtime of 74 minutes, that left us with a kill on average, more frequent than every 2 minutes. Hey, yeah, gotta bring it over here. Sorry. There were 13 kills in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, with the victims including 8 women, twice as many as the 4 dudes, with the so-called crossbreed piglet being his own thing. Yeah, I guess we'll make his pie wedge pink, cause he's a pig. With a runtime of 84 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 6.46 minutes. Huh, really stuck in here, huh? Only 5 people died in Lisa Frankenstein, with the victims consisting of 2 men and 3 women. That gives us a red majority pie chart, which I feel like we've been seeing more often lately. We've seen this count and breakdown 7 times before on the show, including in everyone's favorite movie, Exorcist II: The Heretic. With a runtime of 101 minutes, Lisa Frankenstein had a kill on average every 20.2 minutes.